them steppers, huh? But you can't step with us. Niggas swear they certified steppers, but don't step enough. Oh, you be with them steppers, huh? But you can't step with us. Niggas swear they certified steppers, but don't step enough. Oh, you be with them steppers.
Welcome to the Certified Stepper Podcast. I'm your host, Smooth. This is my co-host, KP.
What's good? What's good? You the smoke.
What?
You the smoke, dude. What's up, man? What's good? Yeah. Hey, I'm excited. Right off the bat, I wanted to jump into it, bro, because you know, there's recent events that kind of that we got going on out there that we definitely finna talk about. So, but I wanted to I'm gonna jump right into
First, I want to say the chick I used to talk to.
I don't know where this nigga going.
She saw a podcast and she was like, y'all niggas toxic. Y'all need to stop y'all shit. You know what I told her?
What?
You can't stop the rain. You can't stop the rain. Then it starts to fall.
Bro, I do be hearing that talk about our show toxic. You get that a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I challenge anybody, but right before I go into like what we're going to be talking about, I challenge anybody. Like, and I'm talking about of the opposite sex who think that, because that's usually coming from women. Yeah. I challenge you to come sit down. Just come have a conversation with us and really don't just go off the sound bites, because that's to get y'all attention. Yeah. That's really what they judging us off of. We get the little sound bites, you know. They get.
I get females that, let's say females I talk to, they take bits and pieces of what I say
and turn it into a whole a whole concept that that's how you is as an individual. Yeah, but you know, us being in this position, we open ourselves up to that. We talked about that day one. We welcome it. Yeah. But I'm dead serious about the open invitation. If it's some shit you gotta get off your chest, come see us. Yeah. We ain't running from none of that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, today, just to put y'all on game, what we gonna be discussing is we're gonna go into a conversation about, you know, people staying into situations, you know, whether them situations be relationships or dealing, tolerating cheating, being mistreated, abused, whatever it may be, right? Standing in them situations way longer than you should be, and like the reason behind all of that, because I don't think, like, a lot of people like to coin that shit as love and all this other shit, right? Yeah. I don't think it be that, and I got a whole different opinion about that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about that, but we also going to some Summer Walker. I got some opinions about her album, so y'all stay tuned, and we're gonna go through, I know Kanye West video dropped, Astro World, but before we do all that, I'm gonna do a quick little mental health check on my boy and see how you feeling though, you know what I'm saying?
I'm great.
You know what I'm saying?
It's mental health month.
Yeah, you look there, it is mental health month, but you look like you got a different glow about yourself.
I got some cutting there.
I knew it. You come in here on you twinkle toes when you in them situations, bro. I ain't mad at you, but I know my boy. I know my boy.
Speaking of relationships, you ever been in a situation like with a new chick, and I guess you're not putting enough energy out there, and she like, you must want a chick to chase you?
What? All the time. Yeah. I ain't gonna say all the time, but hell yeah, I've been in them situations. Like, and the thing with me is like, when I think about that statement, like you saying like, you must want a chick to chase you, as if there's not supposed to be any effort coming from your side. Like, what? Like, yeah, you know, and if you want to call that chasing, do that. However, I look at it as somebody showing a mutual interest in me, like I be showing a mutual interest in you. Yeah. So when they say that, I laugh at them. Yeah. I'll be like, yup, chase me, baby. Yeah. Chase me. You cut them off, huh? You cut them off? You a savage.
I tell them about itself, me. I want that same energy. If I'm giving you that energy, I want that same energy back.
Yeah. So meaning like what you put out.
Yeah. If you're not putting no energy out, shit, I'm gonna just stop fucking with you.
And that ain't even about the chase. When I get it though, when I get the situations like, cause I don't feel like in the beginning, especially when if I'm out and I meet you, right? I meet you that day, right? I don't feel like I gotta be up your ass the very next day, or or if I do, like I check in with you and like we talk maybe 2 or 3 times that week, right? And yeah, if you feel like you done hit me up a couple times back to back, you may already feel like, oh, this nigga here bugging, his attention ain't there. But like part of that is about seeing if you like part of that game is seeing if you really trying to see what's up with me or if this is just some waste of time shit. Like, I say it all the time, the dating world's microwave. So the way I keep my peace, bro, is I don't entertain all that shit at the gate. Like, you got to get through the gate before I even entertain that shit. And getting through the gate is understanding that I ain't gonna be responding all the time.
I just go with the flow.
Right, because I think that shit crazy.
Yeah, I don't do no more than what you doing.
When you say you don't do no more than what the person doing, are you in a situation where you like, this message kind of long, she explained herself, I can explain myself then.
Yeah, I do that. Like, I ain't gonna just keep giving no short ass answers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean to cut you off. See what you finna say.
But let's say I get a chick number. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up first because most of the time I done got your number or your Instagram or whatever bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna try to have a conversation in the beginning, but if I don't see like you ain't trying to have no conversation, you give me short bullshit answers. Yeah. Then I'm gonna move on.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just becomes a whole little situation where it's like, for me, it's like I get told like, you playing games. Like, but I also, so just playing devil's advocate, being real, I also run into a lot of women, that know what the fuck they want, right? So I understand that we in two different headspaces too. Well, let me not say that because it ain't. I don't think that we sitting here as men saying we have no idea what we want. I think we sitting here saying we know exactly what we want. We just ain't. It ain't really being hidden, or for me, it ain't that I ain't finding it. It's just that I don't know if I found it, and the time it takes to get for me to find out if it's real,
might be too long for her.
That goes. Yeah. So it's a little bit bro, whatever. But but that's why I kind of wanted to like jump into just to circle back on how I was opening the show when I was talking about people staying in situations too long, right? It's like. I'm trying my hardest to avoid that shit, right? To get into a situation and be like, oh, shorty got all kind of potential. Let me see what's up. And I'm not saying that shit like you shouldn't consider potential, right? You shouldn't really like, follow through on that and see what that potential is about. However, I do think that potential has to come with a fucking time clock.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got this fucking potential, and I can see us potentially going here with what we got going on. But at the same time, like, there's a bunch of shit that has to match up for that fucking potential to materialize. Yeah. So, and I think that women specifically, and I don't mean to like come across as no sexy shit saying this shit, but like I think women more so than men get tied up on that fucking potential, especially if you allow potential to put a baby in you. Especially if you allow potential to cheat on you a couple times, you done forgiven it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you allow potential to like abuse you in any kind of way, verbally or mentally, and like your self-esteem is low. Like once you let potential get you there, potential ain't gotta do no more work. It's all mental now.
You think? I think women hold on to potential longer than men.
Yeah, for sure.
Because women will wait on you for a year or more. Niggas, a couple months probably. Yeah,
and I think it ties back into last episode when we was talking about how powerful sex is, right? Like, and the added on piece to that sex piece is powerful. Is like, let's say the sexual chemistry dies, because that's possible, but then life was created in that. Now there's another layer that they're holding on to, right? And then like within that, he's the breadwinner. So there's another layer added on to that shit. So I think that whenever that shit just starts happening, and from that standpoint, it's a domino effect. And that's why I have a problem with being called toxic. In a real way. Like, you can joke with me all day and call me toxic, but when you really look at me and think I'm toxic, my mind go to the sucker shit that happens in that state point. And I'm like, man, I'm the furthest thing from that. So I am not toxic.
Yeah. Women, like females I don't talk to about this podcast, they say we toxic codes. We talk about when we single, we talk to all kind of females and shit like that. But we single.
Right.
That's what we supposed to do.
Right. That's my whole point. Is like, and honestly, like, just piggybacking off of that, a lot of times when I'm having conversation with women, like, that, I think that's the disconnect. The disconnect is women A is looking at man A, right? Meaning, so a woman could be attracted to you. You may have got her number. Let's say you got her number a time before, and y'all for happening to be in the same spot again this time. However, she doing her thing, you doing your thing.
Yeah.
Your conversations to her is gonna come across as, oh, this nigga toxic. He just wanna see how many girls he can get.
Yeah.
If I was in your shoes and I'm the one having the conversation, a lot of times my conversation be sharpening my tool.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I've walked away with situations where I turned down a number just yesterday on my soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She was bad?
She wasn't. Nah, he ain't.
I knew you turned on a bad.
That's why I had to look at you because I'm single. I'm gonna see about that because of physical attraction there. But she wasn't bad looking at all. Like she wasn't ugly. Like what in a different situation, I'll tell you why I turned down the number.
Okay, wow.
So when I was in the spot, I had a chick slid on me, right? And I was like, all right, cool. Exchange numbers, we had conversation. She went her ways. Me and Cuzzo ran our lap. I went to use the restroom. When I was coming out, this is when the other chick kind of like got in front of me. She gave me a look. And you know me, I'm gonna say something. I really wasn't trying to shoot at her. All I said was, I was like, yeah, I peeped that. And she laughed. And I just kept walking. And she came running and she got in front of me. Asked for the number. Yeah. And I dead ass was on no shit, but it was because like the chick I got the number for was like ducked off in the corner and it was like, I ain't gonna do that in your face or whatever. So I left it alone. But she wasn't no ugly looking chick. Yeah. However, we had a quick little conversation that sharpened the tool a little bit.
let me see it. What if the chick would have been better than the one in the corner? So
the one that gave me the little look was colder than the first one that I met.
What you did that?
Man, I just told this girl to follow the podcast. I think there lies the toxic comments, bro. Yeah. Because it's like we see it as a game. And but to women, I would say at that point, like, what else is it supposed to be? Yeah. Like, right, like, do you honestly think I'm trying to be with every woman I talk to?
Yeah. See, that's what they think. They think, because we talk about a lot of women on here, we talk about we single and when we be out, we holler at women, that we sleeping with all these women. Yeah. And we not.
Not at all. Not at all. I go to bed dry dick more times than I want to. And I ain't mad at it.
Nigga, you go in my search history right now, the first thing will pop up, xnxx.com, pornhub.com.
Yeah. But also, I do think that, like, women have to understand that I'm not in the business of changing my personality because you may like me. So I shouldn't have to, like, if I meet a woman out, right, and we building a relationship and we getting a connection and no titles have been formed, I shouldn't have to water my personality down to cater to your feelings or your thoughts that may run crazy because you are overthinker. Yeah, like, because like there's nothing established there. And I think that that's where like I fall into like problems with women, like in terms of like how they want to dictate what I should be doing, yet there's really nothing of foundation for me to stand on to justify that action that you requesting. Yeah. So, what I'm saying? So that's the difference for me. And every time, that's why I'm gonna look at you like, love, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I mean, let's just think about it, bro. Like, you think about women and you think about like what they gonna do and how they gonna feel. I tell you all the time, it's gonna be an emotional roller coaster with them, so they gonna jump there first, right? But a lot of times where I'm going with that is a lot of times I think that they jump into that stage well before they do the work on self. Speaking like, you know, you had posted on your IG that, you know, your mental health shit. Yeah. I was like, you talking about make it cool for men to like discuss mental health and express emotions, go to therapy and shit. And like when I looked at that post, I ain't even say nothing to you about it because it took me into my own little headspace. And what I found so dope about that was that it was like I saw my homie one first and foremost doing the self work publicly, so that was the cool part first and foremost. But secondly, I was like, not too many people understand the importance of this stage. Yeah. And so what I mean and what I'm getting at, and where I'm gonna pass it over to you to get your thoughts is, women are getting into these situations broken as hell, right? Completely broken with the whole idea of thinking that, you know, I need to find somebody I need love. I'm just unhappy. I need somebody to love me. And the whole time, they not they not fixing nothing about themselves. They staying in this broken state. And then they find somebody and expect that person to fix them. And that's an unfair thing to request on a person. Like, I shouldn't have to come to a situation and big your ass up. That's the only time you happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's what I am working to avoid when people, when women out there saying, oh, you toxic, or you want me to chase you, or when y'all hear all this other shit, that's my explanation to that. That's why I say, oh yeah, it's some work over here, beloved.
Yeah.
It's some work.
Yeah. I was gonna tell a story about that mental health post, mental health in general. When I was dealing with like my anxiety, my panic attacks, like I would tell different people about it, tell different females about it. And the majority of the conversation I got was, oh, Jeremy, you'll be all right. Like it's all in your head, shit like that. One girl, she was a nurse. And I was telling about the panic attack. She said, she was dumbing it down. Oh, it's all in your head, stuff like that. But then recently, she had a panic attack. And she called me. She's like, Jeremy, I'm so sorry. Like, it's like the worst feeling I ever felt. And I'm so sorry I dumbed down like your mental health. And I'm sorry I dumbed down like the panic attacks. Cause that's like, I'll never want nobody to deal with that. Cause that was the most scariest thing she ever felt. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to tell her. But like I was saying, like I tell you deal with mental health, don't try to dumb it down if you ain't never dealt with it before. Real. Yeah. That's real. Absolutely. That's a solid ass message, because I even in my own self like reflections, a lot of times that's what I thought the answer was too. It's like, man, you just gotta push through that shit, man. Boom, boom, boom. Just and not understanding that not every time everybody ain't gonna have the strength to do that. Myself included. When I reflect now back, there's a bunch of times I was like, man, tired of fucking marching. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of hitting this brick wall. And like much to your point though, is like, until you really experience it and understand what it's about, you should not have an opinion about that shit. If it's not anything positive to really help somebody get out of that situation, you gotta leave that shit alone. Especially if you never dealt with this shit before. Right. And first and foremost, I don't wanna skip over what you just said. Absolutely, especially if you never dealt with it before. You shouldn't have no fucking opinion. Like, you got to go through it to at least, for me to even want to have a conversation. That's why, like, a lot of times when you talk about it with me, I'm just listening, bro. I'm like, I have no idea what that feels like. I can't even act like I do. But I want to make sure that, I'm always just gonna show up for you to have somebody to talk to. But just kind of piggybacking off of that, to jump back on topic, like what I see. When I was talking about like people being broken and like doing the work, like I had a tweet out. That's why I got out my phone. I wanted to pull it up. I had made a tweet and it had said really quickly. It said people will create a definition of what they think love is and what relationships are built on, and then find people who fit that definition, and then the whole time they never questioning if they got the definition wrong, right? And so what I took from that from that tweet and what I was trying to say is like, and back on the broken piece is like the journey starts at self-love. Like it starts there. Like you got to be checking yourself, making sure you good. Like I literally was having a conversation this morning with a shorty and was talking about how like I be going on these trips and sometimes I just be dolo and nobody believe it. Yeah. And she went into talking about like, most I could do is I can go on lunch by myself or movies, but I don't know if I can take no trips. And my response was, I was like, you gotta love on yourself a little bit more, shorty. Like you got like if I feel like if you don't know how to be by yourself and enjoy your own company, then there's something about you that there's insecurities or something, right? Me personally, I could be wrong. It's just an opinion, and people could disagree. But I think if you don't know how to sit with yourself, like I don't think you need to even be thinking about a relationship. And a lot of women get into those situations without having to do that prerequisite work is what I'm talking about. Well, probably for us, we being single for so long, like the work is done. Yeah. That's also why I think we could pop shit now too. Cause it's like, man, I done ran through this motherfucking, like I done ran all the way through this shit. And I don't know, you could tell your own story, but for me going through this almost 5-year hiatus now, like I done bumped my head a few times, like hard.
You know what I'm saying? So even in the journey of fixing myself, I was fixing the fixes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got to a level where I thought that was the fix to figure out that there's still some cracks in that motherfucker. All right, let me fix that fix. See what I'm saying? And so now when I'm looking back at it now, it's like 5 years in, absolutely I may come across as if I'm a little bit of a chase.
Yeah.
But that's because like I'm recognizing that the work I've put in and the work that you have yet to do is not matching up, love, and I'm not gonna put myself in that again.
to get off the relationship bit, you seen that Kanye West interview?
Did I?
To me personally, that was the best interview of the year.
Yeah?
Best interview of the year.
Fat Joe said decade. You agree with that? He gave it 10 years.
It might have been, because man, that was the first interview I sat down from beginning to end.
And it was over 2 hours.
Yeah.
What stood out to you about the interview? I'm going to ask you that real quick.
I like the part where he said white people get away with calling people nigga by calling black men rappers. Calling rappers.
Like, oh yeah, when he said, that's the rapper such and such. Yeah.
He's like, why you can't call me an artist?
Mm-hmm.
Why you gotta call me a rapper? That part, what's another part I liked he said? Damn. You go ahead, let me think.
Yeah, so for me, the other thing that I thought was cool was like he was on this whole little, so where it comes across as cocky to certain people, and I'm gonna say this by saying like there's a lot of things that Kanye's did that I completely look at and be like, oh, I disagree with this nigga, he wildin', right? You know what I'm saying? MAGA had removed, you know, because I'm not even talking about the politics side. It's just other shit where, you know that he's playing a game, right? Mm-hmm. Why I may deem it sucker shit. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I disagree. However, what I really loved about where his mindset was at, when he kept naming his peers.
Yeah.
He kept saying, he was like, Jeff Bezos, my peer. Yeah. Elon Musk, who is my peer. The CEO of Balenciaga, which is my peer. Yeah. You know, he put himself there. And like for me, people took that as like, damn, Kanye isn't, billionaire status. You know, he talked about how he got $9 billion. I don't call people pockets. I don't know if that's true or false. It probably is true, and kudos to you. If those people appear as cool. But what I took from it was the ability to manifest. So if you think about, if we rewind life back to when Kanye was ranting and raving about not getting in the door and trying to jump into the fashion world, when he was like, you ain't got the answer, Sway. You remember that shit? He was like, you ain't got the answer, Sway, right? He was saying then, yo, my mind is already on the level of the Balenciagas, the Virgils, and the Bezos, Musk, and all of them. But we didn't see it yet. So for me to sit down and watch that interview, this was my favorite part of the interview for me. For me to sit down and watch him in the seat that he's in, and to look Nori in the eyes and name those people and actually be the peers of those people coming from when he was trying to break down the door, I was like, that's so fucking fire to me.
Actually, I liked when he said, people think I'm crazy because I have my own opinion.
Yeah. And which is true. I think I was watching Fat Joe do a recap with Nori, and Fat Joe had said it best. He had made a statement that said that what he loves about Kanye, and he openly said that, Kanye is his favorite rap artist of all time. What he openly loves about Kanye, though, is that, like, where we see Kanye raving and ranting and putting on these antics is really him fighting for his freedom to say what he want, do what he want, live what he want, buy what he want, and be his own independent thing. Now, and I was with Fat Joe on this one. Fuck my head up was when that nigga in the interview said, he was talking about the stock market and how these $1 trillion companies, he said, I am going to be the first person who gets to a T as a person. Like he was like, Yeezy is going to be on the stock market. And I was like, nigga, what? But I understand the brand, but I took it as he was talking about, nigga, it was like him. So in my head, I'm like, how the fuck niggas buying into you, and what? Like, how would that make sense? We think about stock. So in my head, I was like, I don't see the product there, but whenever you figure it out, I'll be interested to see how that goes. But that was another dope part.
I also like when he said, besides the part where he said he put Drake, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, that was funny though. That was some cocky shit.
The off-white dude.
Virgil.
Who else he put in there?
Jay-Z.
And I think Kid Cudi.
And Pusha T. Yeah, Kid Cudi and Pusha T.
He was like, I make more money than all y'all.
Combined.
I don't work more than all y'all.
Combined. He said combined.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That was some cocky shit.
Yeah. And the last one I liked when he said he don't have no home no more. Like he don't have a house. His home is when his daughter North FaceTime.
And he was like his house is
his bag.
Yeah, it grows with the little travel. Yeah. And but see, did you pick up on the interview how he was talking about relationships, right? And he was talking about his goal is to be so rich that he don't have to spend a dime.
They have to spend his own money.
Yeah, he ain't got. He's like, I can call up the CEO of Balenciaga. I say, hey man, I'm gonna go get some clothes.
Yeah.
Open the store, bless him with some Balenciagas and be straight. Call somebody and hey, I'm in town, need somewhere to crash. And the relationship just open you up to this lavish ass mansion or hotel or Ritz or something, right? And I was like, to get at that level of rich, like I even tried to sit back and imagine that shit. And I was like, bro, you know how, that's a lifetime of work to get there.
Yeah.
Well, right? And Kanye been screaming for 10 plus years, so I get that he's there.
Beyonce probably there.
There's certain people who are absolutely at that level to where they, like, Beyonce spends money because, you know, I'm pretty sure that's just, she got family to take care of and, you know, that's just her giving back. But if they wanted to, absolutely, don't need to do nothing. Now, let me ask you a quick question about that real quick before I move on to the next topic. Was there anything to you that you didn't like about the interview? Overall, I'm agreeing with you. I think it was a dope-ass interview. But was there anything that you was like,
Maybe the Big Sean part.
That was one of mine too. I thought that was aggressive.
Yeah.
I was like the whole RIP thing, and
it was funny.
It was funny. It came across on the screen very well because I laughed. But I put myself in Big Sean's shoes, especially like Big Sean. You know, he got Janae Aiko, and they both as a couple, they be on this whole little higher learning spiritual, you know, about their peace. So I thought for a minute where that could take his mental, seeing like literally, if you think about it, the most influential artist outside of Drake, it's them two niggas for two different reasons. Drake for his music and his lover boy ways and his antics and how he play with people. Kanye for everything else you can imagine, right? But they both at the top. And I thought from a Big Sean perspective, like, bro, to have arguably the biggest artist in the world to say that on his tombstone, like my biggest mistake is signing Big Sean. Yeah. I was like, yo, if that ain't I don't think it's gonna hurt Big Sean brand because he just marched on his own drum, but that's still an ego straight.
Then Big Sean said they hung together before the interview. So,
But the crazy thing, Nori said that they don't do back-to-back interviews. Like they won't do a Tuesday and a Wednesday, right? Yeah. And Big Sean was scheduled to come the day before Kanye West interview actually happened, but he canceled because he had doing $1 billion worth of game interview or some shit like that. Yeah. And he was like, Shanori was like, this legendary moment does not happen if we bring Sean in, because I would have told Kanye, nah, we're not doing a back-to-back. He was like, I wouldn't have did it. So that was crazy. The other thing though I thought was a little bit was the jabs at like the producer of the Just Blaze nigga. I was like, oh, that's cold.
But if it's some truth to it.
No, but I'm a Jay-Z fan, so I've heard Blueprint. Yeah. So I've just them sounds don't sound alike, bro.
Don't.
Oh, I fuck with Blueprint. I listened to whole. I was like, that was a reach, my dog. That was a reach. But overall, I give it a dope ass, like, and we shine a light on it because shit, the world is, right? That was, I went on YouTube, Twitter, everything I scrolled, it was trending, right? So it was a dope conversation to have. And like, I honestly love seeing Kanye in that light, because it's like, damn, you finally letting us get a little piece of you. That's what I be thinking I wish Drake would do. Just like for me, that was my favorite moment though, like without words, was that nigga taking the puff for that blunt, boy. Oh, yeah. I said, yes, you.
He hell though. He hit
it in the blue. But Nori say in the interview with Fat Joe that he actually hit it like 3 or 4 times. Like he didn't smoke a whole spliff, but he hit like 3 or 4 times. That was just the edits and shit. Oh, okay. But yeah, so, but like, hey, on a more serious note, no man, have you been hearing about the Astro shit?
Yeah.
That sad moment, bro. I'm trying to figure out like what happened though, because I'm hearing like, from what I get overall, it was a mix of too many people, not enough process in place to control that type of crowd, basically. Because I heard like jumping over tables for merch, stampedes, and like like just not being able to control crowds. And then, of course, I heard some shit about drugs being involved and all this other stuff, which I don't know nothing about. But I know that like that's a real thing. When you can't control a crowd, you can go everywhere.
I heard like mostly people got trampled, and then they were saying somebody was stabbing people with a needle.
Shut up.
Yeah, and they go into cardiac arrest. You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, one of the security guards. Like he got pinched in the neck and he dropped as soon as that shit happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm hearing like every time I go on Twitter to just like look up some shit, there's developing stories, and I'm like, bro, what the hell is real? And honestly, when I look at like the pictures and the footage I seen from like what it looked like, I can understand how there's thousands of stories, and a lot of that shit may be true, because there could be a group of people over there doing one thing, and then some other like that. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. Do you think Travis Scott deserve any of that blame? Or no?
Him as the artist, I don't.
No,
I think you have to look at the city and the infrastructure. It's like we know one thing is that Astro World is a real thing, right? They do that thing. That's an event. This is not the first time they had Astro World, right? So for me, it's like you should understand like where the event is happening, you know, what's going on, what's the capacity of this event, and cater the space to what those numbers tell you, right? But like when you got this open as, you know, land and you doing it out and however you doing it and whatever buildings or land combined you doing the shit in, like, and you ain't really monitoring that shit at, you know, that closer level. Like, and then on top of that, you ain't got enough people to kind of like control that shit.
Ain't no way in hell you about to control 50,000 people.
It's the city.
Yeah.
So my point is, you shouldn't allow 50,000 people to be in one.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's like, and especially in a situation where things like, I have no doubt in my mind there was some Molly shit. There was some egg pills, there was some Xans, you name the drugs. No doubt in my mind, you know, we was doing that. You know, and I say we, I'm talking about we as a community. I wasn't out there, I wasn't nowhere near it. But no doubt in my mind, we as a community was absolutely doing that shit, coupled that with alcohol. And then you got chaos with running around and people thinking they can do ignorant shit and just trying to get a name. You know, all that shit is mixed in. You make a big ass gumbo of chaos, bro. I heard like 8 deaths.
Yeah, 8.
That shit is crazy to me. At a festival where everybody out there to have fun. Ribs cracked, heard all kind of injuries. But like I said, I looked at it as crowd control.
Yeah.
But like the last thing I'm gonna talk with you about before we go into bro talk is this quick. Man, did you hear Summer Walker album?
Summer Walker? Man, I thought you said Sauce Walker. I'm too legit at the quick. Nah, but I listened to that one Sierra's Prayer.
Yeah, listen, let me tell y'all real quick before I go into like, cause I got an album review for you, bro. I knew you did. I text this man, I said, hey, FYI, just next episode, just so we know, we definitely discussed the Summer Walker album. That nigga something back, man, hell no. And I had to laugh because when I reread the text, I was like, yeah, I can see how that could come across as a little wrong. So that's why I started texting you. I was like, this is the angle I want to go, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But like, so before I go into like my reviews and shit, like the reason, what got my attention, what got my absolute attention was I knew she was dropping because I got a homegirl of mine who like fuck with Summer Walker and like sometimes we'll listen to new albums and shit together and all this shit. So I knew that was coming, so I was expecting it. I thought it was, it was a cool album. However, you hop on Twitter. Oh boy, Black Twitter the women was killing us from an angle of quoting her shit and popping shit, right? And then talking about here come the insecure ass niggas who done fucked up, now they won't be mad and boom, 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 and they triggered this and triggered that. And I'm like, all right, now y'all finna make me listen to this album and see what's really going on, because it can't be all just one-sided. So that's what got me into it or whatever. And like, I just want to say I think it's very unfair, first and foremost, when these dope-ass artists, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a fan of it, first and foremost. Summer Walker's a dope artist. So Summer Walker's, the Beyoncés, you name Mary J. Blige, you name Keisha, Keisha Cole's, the Pain Music women, when they drop albums, Tink is another one I throw in there, right? When they drop that Pain Music album, bro, like, I'm definitely like, as a dude, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Because I know we gonna catch some strays.
Who you think is the male Summer Walker for us?
The male Summer Walker?
Yeah, for us.
See, Summer Walker comes from a situation of like being hurt.
I say Cy.
I was just finna say that, nigga. I definitely would have finna say Cy the Kid because like Cy is gonna get in his feelings bag quick. I could cause my initial thought Herb and popped up Future, but I was like, that's the generic answer everybody want to throw out there for everybody. So I really had to think about it. And I was like, oh yeah, Cy the Kid is definitely one. I had a chick compare Cy to fucking Jhené Aiko. I said, don't disrespect my queen like that.
Is.
You know, Big Sean.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
I want to be singing about the spiritual shit. Yeah, nah, it's completely different. I'm like, man, she on her spiritual journey doing her thing. She was like, he the male version of Jhené Aiko, always in his feelings. I was like, nah, you ain't listening to Cy.
Yeah. Oh.
my third string.
Just broke up with me.
I couldn't keep the bitch, don't need it. Hey, if y'all get a chance, bro, shameless plug, bro, go check out Cy the Kid, bro. He got an album called 3 to 5, and it's a song on there called Betrayal and a skit called Third String Chick. It's hilarious, but y'all get a chance to check that out. But just getting into the music, man, I just wanted to touch on a couple of songs because, like, even though we was out there catching stray slugs, and ladies, y'all need to give us a break, man. Listen, a lot of times when y'all be sending these quotables and y'all out here and y'all sending some shit to a dude that y'all may have went to a situation with, at least for me, bro, that's like 3-4 years old. Like, why you bringing up old information like that? Let that go. Yeah. But outside of that, the album was fucking hard. Gotta get you. So I'm gonna start off real quick. It's 20 songs. We ain't finna talk about all that. I know you ain't listened, so I had a quick 4 or 5 that I want. Like the first one, you gotta go Screwing. Man, all I'm gonna tell you, that's straight mood setter. Get there, put that one on, and get it popping. She literally say, you better not pull out.
Do it. You think it's better than Cy Disgusting though?
I think if you said I either had to pick one or if I choose both, I gotta take a shot, I would be taking a shot on that question. Because I think that Screwing song is the male version of Disgusting by Cy. Absolutely. So that one hard, but like I say, I ain't really got no more of a reviews for you on that besides just put it on. Like that one, I was like, man, I can't wait to be with a little sweetie and throw this on. Yeah. If this don't get you no ass, she ain't come over there planning to fuck you anyway, homie. Another one she got was a song called Unloyal. Dog, before I even go into what she was talking about, Aria Lennox straight snapping on that song. She had a line in there that say, I put your Bow Wow do-rag in your doggy bag, nigga. I said, oh, she popping her shit. And then she said something about being a grown man, but you live in Kevin Samuels' comments and shit. I said, oh, she popping her shit. But like the whole song was dope. Was just talking about this is a women's anthem, honestly. They don't lower you because it goes in and just talks about like not taking shit no more, being on your shit, being about your bag, and like because you doing you as men, we looking at you like, damn, shorty, you ain't got no time for me no more. You unloyal, like you disloyal as fuck. And so basically they saying, well, if me getting on my shit and fixing myself makes me unloyal, then I guess I'm fucking unloyal. Oh, yeah. But the song was fire. And then motherfucking Fourth Baby Mama. So just the backstory real quick on it. The dude she fucked with, I found out her life after the album shit because I knew she was fucking with London, but I didn't even know they broke up. I knew they had a baby.
That's why people on Instagram say I'd never be no nigga Fourth Baby Mama.
Yes. Okay. So she was fucking with London, but I didn't know they had split up and this whole thing came out. I was doing my podcast work. Y'all see me over here. I was on my researches. Yeah. But yeah, so like the song called Fourth Baby Mama, and basically what the song was talking about, the prelude was like the dude singing saying like I never expected to be in a situation where I have 4 baby mamas, right? And he just saying it from that standpoint. But then when you go into the song, I was like, damn, like that is fire. So like she basically just like the first verse, nigga, she took a shot at this dude mama. Yeah. She said, first of all, your mama should have whooped your ass more. I was like, yo. So she popping her shit. And then like, and she talks about how like, a lot of the man that she think he is stems from the relationship that he has with his mom. I mean, like she wasn't really around until he got popping. And then once he got popping, she came back to help out, but it was on a guilt trip. Like you can't really be a mother to him because you didn't help him get to where he at. Yeah. So a lot of time, and then plus he got you in a position in life now. So it's like she cradled him. So like he making these babies. Basically what she was getting at is he out here making these babies and the grandmother over there raising them. Yeah. And I was like, and to me, that's because she went about the whole little situation that way and started it off that way. I was like, the song dope. But then she talked about how she finally understand that he was really a clout chaser and like the love wasn't really there for her and shit like that. So, but you just gotta hear that bitch.
Any nigga that got four baby mamas, you gotta be a toxic ass nigga.
Four, son.
I learned my lesson after one.
It don't take much to scare me. Oh, no. Like you scare me that one time, over with. Like damn, this is really a responsibility. But really quick, the last two I'm gonna touch on real quick was so it's a song where it's called "Switch a Nigga Out," and I swear when I read the title, I said, "Oh, that go to toxic
like
shit."
A train.
That's why I thought I was like switch a nigga out. But basically what she was saying on that though, the dude got her so fucking wrapped up in her head to where she was like, man, the way you acting normally, I wouldn't even be putting up with this shit. I'd be done switched you out, replaced you out the dump. Yeah. But because now my motherfucking heart is in it and you got me here, I can't shake this shit. And the sad part about it is I can't make you change who the fuck you is. So the switching nigga out is like, nigga, I can't even switch you out. Like I'm stuck with you because my emotions won't allow me to move on. So that one fire. And then to me, the hardest song on that bitch, I left it for last, is called No Love. Fucking dope. Like, and all she was saying is like, she mad at herself basically because she allowed the love piece to actually factor in, and she wished she could have just left that bitch at the fucking stage and the taking trips and the lust stage because that's where the shit was enjoyable. But now that she fell in love, she don't see that nigga the same way. You can't do none of that with me now. So, but the album hard. If you get a chance, I recommend you grab, like, men, free game out there, bro. I know a lot of y'all dudes be like, man, I ain't listening to no female R&B artists. Yeah. Man, if you got somebody of the opposite sex, you enjoy their company, and you really like dope conversations, that album can spark a lot of that. No bullshit. And if you just open your mind up to just hearing what's being said, you likely gonna get you some ass that night, bro.
Well, the only time I really listen to like a female R&B artist is if I'm fucking.
And that's why, listen, ladies, that's y'all. Listen, I want y'all to know this is KP and Smooth, and we do own the name Certified Steppaz Podcast. But please understand that these opinions are very individualized. Like this man is thinking for himself over here. So if y'all want to divide this shit down the middle and call toxic to the left, my left, y'all right, whatever, do that. But don't group me with this nigga. Nah, we're gonna go ahead and go straight into Bro Talk, man. I'm gonna hand it over to you. What you got for Bro Talk to wrap up the episode?
Bro Talk, we coming out with our own website, www.certifiedsteppazpodcast.com.
You own it.
We will be selling the merch that y'all see. Like
introduce the new.
The new one gonna be made in Louisiana. Our old one was a Paper Pussy Piece, and y'all can go on there and purchase that. We gonna have that up probably about a couple weeks. I had another fucking.
Don't forget to mention the hats too, though. Let them know that.
We're gonna have hats too.
Hats coming.
Oh, and I see y'all females posting like Sierra's Prayer from Summer Walker's album, and I'm about to come out with Future's Prayer.
Real quick, before I go into my Bro Talk, I just got to make a quick comment about the Sierra's Prayer. I'm glad you brought that up. Man, really, bro, for me, like, I thought the prayer was dope. Yeah. However, I couldn't help but laugh because I just pictured women having that song on repeat with their eyes closed and their fingers crossed like, Lord, your prophet Cece has finally blessed us with the words. Please deliver us from this fuckboy environment you have us in. You know what I'm saying? So like, but the poem is dope. I mean, not the poem, the prayer is dope. And like, man, listen, my Bro Talk is real simple, man. Allow your darkest moments to create your biggest clarity, man. And what that means is just whenever you in those situations where you down and you out and you feel like, you know, life is against you, like evaluate your situation. You know what I'm saying? Assess your dark moments. Go see what the fuck is going on with you and come out of that situation a lot stronger. Sometimes that's going to be in the form of you losing people that you thought was with you. Sometimes that's going to be in the form of losing family that you thought had you forever. But when you come out of that shit, when you come out of that shit and you reassess, bro, I promise you, if you do the work, you're going to come out standing 10 feet taller, bro. And it's just like, I'm lying. I'm not even finna steal that from Wallow. Hey, listen, I am KP of the Certified Steppaz podcast, man. This is the big homie Smooth.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Like, comment, subscribe, and even if you don't like us, just remember, you can't stop.
Man, we are out of here, bro. We're going to see y'all on the other side. Yeah.